My name is Webster, and I will be showing you how to use the reinforcement fine-tuning tool on Fireworks platform. To get started, go to our website and log in. Once you log in, you should be able to access a dashboard. On the left side, there's a tab that says Evaluations. Click onto that and you'll be taken to the Evaluations page. Evaluations page is where you manage and create evaluators. There's another tab that says Evaluation Jobs, which includes standalone evaluation job runs. Now, if you click on the button that says Create Evaluator, it's gonna take you to this very simple web IDE where you can create and iterate on your evaluation function. So, evaluation function is a concept that came up in reinforcement learning with verifiable reward paradigm of training for large language models. Essentially, evaluation function tells the trainer which of the generations are good and which of the generations are bad, so that the trainer is able to push the model towards more likely to generate the generations that was preferred. Basically, the generations that were getting higher scores. Let's take a look at the structure of the evaluation function. The structure of the evaluation function is actually pretty simple. So you notice that it takes in a list of chat messages, keyword argument, and also returns a evaluate result structure. The list of messages is what we sent to the language model during generation. So it contains both the context sent to the model, user messages, system messages, and also it contains the model generation itself, usually as part of the assistant message. So you're expected to write a function that takes a look at the assistant message generated by the model and returns a score between 0.0 and 1.0 to tell the trainer how good the particular generation is. So the trainer will then try to push the model towards more likely to generate a generation that was getting higher score. There are a couple other fields, but all of them are actually optional. Is score valid is a Boolean optional field, which you can set if you want to. You can set it to false if you wanna to ignore like certain evaluations. So like to void that particular evaluation. Reason is mostly for bookkeeping purposes. So you can write up some reason for why you are giving this particular generation certain low or high scores. Metrics is a dictionary mapping from some metric name to a metric result, which helps you keep track of auxiliary metrics that you may or may not care about. So a very common practice is that your final evaluation score is computed as a weighted sum of individual metrics. So you can keep track of the individual metric values in the metrics field and then add them up in the score section for indicating how good the overall generation is. On the right, there's a data preview panel. You can pick a data set and then run your evaluation or evaluator against this test data set. The first time it runs, it needs to set up some isolated environment and may take a couple more seconds. Once the evaluation finishes, you can see that it's outputting the individual metrics scores and also the final score, and giving you or returning the reasons that you have put down here, why this particular example is getting this score. So it will help you to debug your evaluator and also help you improve your evaluation function so that you're able to, have a proper evaluation function that aligns towards your final goal. The IDE can also help you do some debugging. For example, you can add a print statement here, and then run the evaluation function, like run test again. It's gonna show you some debugging information. There are multiple of those instances because the evaluation function was actually run on all the instances here. Once you are done with the debugging, you can save your evaluator. Let's say, just call it like my evaluator 2. You will then be taken back to this evaluators page. Now go to the fine-tuning page, click on fine-tune a model, select reinforcement. You can now pick a model, pick a dataset, pick a evaluator, set up the rollout arguments. Most of the time you can leave them as option, like as the default, as well as setting up some training time parameters. Click on create a job. Your job will be created and you will be taken to this page. So the job progress will be updated here after it passes validation and actually starts training. Let's actually go take a look at how a finished job would look like. So this is one of the finished jobs. If you click into the job details page, there's going to be a couple curves. Each line represents the average score for a metric or the final score value that you have defined and how they have improved or I guess regressed over the epochs of training. And you can also take a look at the individual epoch score and metric value distributions to help you debug if there's anything wrong with the evaluator or if anything that's not going right throughout the training. Down below, there's a correlation matrix that's meant to help you figure out whether you have like too strong of a correlation between any of the metrics that you have defined. Generally, it's very useful if you are able to figure out some like orthogonal metrics that's sort of like providing independent signals from one another. Once you have done the training, there's a button on the top right that says deploy this LoRa. So you can basically deploy the model as a LoRa add-on to an existing deployment or just create a new one. Hope that the tutorial is useful and you're able to make use of reinforcement fine-tuning to improve your model's quality even further.